Hey guys, so welcome to Suitcase Divas. This week we have a special episode featuring Netherlands native Jonn Reyna. John started playing the piano at age 11, and his father was a major inspiration for him becoming a musician in his footsteps. John has developed his very own versatile and recognizable style. We met John on the MSC cruise as he was part of the duo with Anthony Jefferson. They were definitely the hot ticket every evening in the Sky Lounge. So without further ado, here's our friend, Jonn Reyna.
Yeah, so welcome, guys. We are on to phase two of our interview, and Jonn Reyna from the Netherlands is amazing pianist. And we want to just ask you guys, welcome. First of all, welcome, John. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Pretty
Yeah,
good. We'll take it.
I had a
And
nice day.
We're very
How,
envious
how,
of your weather. Absolutely.
yes, and
yeah,
it's
it's
beautiful.
30 degrees, so in Fahrenheit it must be like 96 or something. I don't know. It's pretty hot. I'm
Wow.
sweating.
Wow, that's
That's
pretty
why
damn
I'm
toasty.
Really?
drinking beer.
Here on the North Coast, it is absolutely just the opposite. It's got to be at least around maybe 80, and you've got a cool, wonderful breeze going on. And as you ladies seen, I mean,
You're
beautiful sun
breathing.
and
Yep.
ocean. Yeah,
Well,
yeah, but no humidity at all.
Here,
Yeah.
look, this is my view. This is my balcony,
gorgeous.
and, and this is a little airport called La Isabela. They have
Okay.
like short flights to Jamaica, Miami, Aruba, Curacao, Haiti.
Nice.
And there's the mountains, and this is my private jungle.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
and yeah. Okay,
So, what
let's continue.
area of the Dominican Republic are you in, John? What's that area called?
This is the northwest part of Santo Domingo.
Okay.
So it's like a village. They call it Campo, countryside, but it's part of Santo Domingo. So my place is like 12 kilometers, like 10 miles from the center of Santo Domingo, the Zona
Okay.
Colonial, the old city.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's like a half an hour drive when there's no traffic jam. And with traffic jam, it takes about an hour to arrive to the center of the city. But I
Okay.
like it here much more because it's less hot. Because it's on a hill. There's always
Mhm.
a nice breeze, and there's lots of oxygen because of this rainforest.
Yes.
So I like it here. Yeah, it's quiet.
That's
Nice.
awesome. So, for
Yeah.
our listeners, we met John and Anthony on our MSC cruise.
Yes.
John was the pianist with Anthony as the vocalist. So, we are now going to kind of talk about how you two became a duo on that cruise.
Yeah. Okay. I think Anthony and me, we met for the first time, I guess 6 years ago or something.
Yes.
I was invited to the Dominican Republic to become a teacher at a university, a private university, one of the best of the country. And they have like a music education comparable with Berkeley School of Music, but here inside. And the musical director of this university is a very good, famous piano player, an American that lives here as well. His name is Corey Allen, and Corey Allen is a piano player that arranged for Manhattan Transfer, the famous a cappella group. And Corey Allen also played like 20 years with a trumpet player called Chuck Mangione.
Okay.
And Chuck Mangione, you know who he is, but you may not register the name. It's like Ba-da-da, ba-ba-ba-da,
Yes.
ba-ba-ba-da,
Okay.
ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's John
Right.
Reyna.
So they use his music also for a lot of television series and stuff. And actually, Corey Allen was invited to set up the music education, and I think that Corey Allen invited me to listen to Anthony Jefferson. They were playing like a duo.
Mm-hmm.
So how many
They were
times did
playing
you
like
guys say?
and I went to see their concert, and I really enjoyed their concert. And then Corey introduced me to Anthony, and then we became friends. And then I think in that same year, Anthony invited me to play a couple of concerts with him on Christmas and New Year's Eve
Okay.
in Sosua, in a resort. So Anthony lives in Sosua, and there was a resort, and the owner of the resort is a friend of Anthony, L Boatwright,
Mm-hmm.
and that was actually, I think I played that 3 times or something with
Okay.
Anthony, and that's how we started our collaboration.
That was what I was
Yes.
gonna. So you answered the question I was gonna ask, which is about how many times have you guys performed together? So it's been a
Oh,
few
we played at
times.
Lifestyles also.
Yeah. So I think
Right.
we performed like maybe 4 or 5 times in Totua, and I have seen Anthony's CD presentation, which was like 3 years ago or something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this CD was arranged by Corey Allen, and Anthony played in the Hard Rock Cafe in Santo Domingo, and he had his CD presentation. So actually, between the gigs and the cruise ship, there was actually a few years that we didn't perform together.
Well, we're so glad that
And
you
then,
joined each other on MSC.
Yes.
We're the lucky ones.
yeah, and then last year, Anthony approached me, and then he asked me if I was interested to maybe play with him on a cruise ship. And I wasn't that enthusiastic in first instance, because my first cruise ship experience was a really bad one, because the cruise ship was wrecked on a coral reef.
Oh, well,
Whoa.
we're gonna put a pin in that story and definitely come back to that, because that's
Yeah,
good tea there.
really, really, really. And then
Yeah.
so I said to Anthony, I like to perform with you, but I prefer to play on land or in Japan or whatever. And
Fair
then we
enough. Fair
then we
enough.
decided to record some videos, like a demonstration.
Hmm.
So we Anthony arranged a recording session in a restaurant in Santo Domingo, where they do have a grand piano. It's a place called Nakan. It's a very chic restaurant. The,
Absolutely posh.
the owners are Dominican, but they also have businesses in Miami. And we met there, I think, like 1 year ago, and we spent a couple of hours playing recording a few songs with my mobile phone. And with these recordings, Anthony started to contact bookings agents. And last year, I think in October or something, Anthony established this contact with the bookings agent from the MSC cruise ships. They are called Rossetti, and they are located in Monaco, in Europe.
Okay.
So Anthony sounds like a fabulous friend to have, correct, John?
I do my best. So then everything was really strange, because first, the booker's agent, they approached us if we were interested to play like 5 months. But 5 months on a cruise ship is a long time.
I can't imagine.
Right.
Yeah, so I was not. Of course, we could use the money, but 5 months is too long.
Agreed.
And then they asked if we could play like a trio. So we could add a bass player, so vocals, piano, and bass player. So I approached a friend of mine, a young guy in the Netherlands, a talented guy, and he was willing to do it. And then they canceled us, so the whole cruise didn't go on eventually. And then they contacted us again after 1 week, and they asked us if we could play like 3 weeks, and not as a crew member, but as a passenger, with a passenger status, which is much
Sweet.
better than crew member because you have all the privileges that a passenger has. So for us, it's much better, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to share
We
rooms.
understand the
We
crew.
learned
the crew.
a little bit about that.
We became friends with everybody on the ship, as you know, and so we know we know about the crew members and
The
treatment
challenges
of
they had. Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah,
you
you
guys
know,
are lucky to be
I mean,
passenger status.
it's a tough job, man. Most of these people, they work like 12 hours a day.
Right.
It's you almost
least.
have no time for yourself. But our job was actually was really easy, like 4 sets, 2 sets of 30 minutes, and 2 sets of 45 minutes. So really, really nice, relaxing job.
And then you get to hang out with really, really nice people that you meet on the ship, correct?
Yeah, especially in the smokers lounge.
Absolutely.
That's where we end
Yeah.
up being.
Yeah.
Like, I will clarify, I am not a smoker, but I enjoyed the company in there so much that that's pretty much where I spent my cruise.
You're not a smoker, but you're a joker.
Yeah.
And maybe a midnight toker. Every once in a blue moon. You never know.
Uh-huh.
So you guys
So
had wrapped up your
basically-
3-week kind of trial one. Do you guys have any plans for the future for more Anthony and John appearances, or even on the cruises, or is that something you might consider again?
Oh, definitely. Right now, we're putting together certain footages and things and sending off to other companies as well. So we'll
Nice.
sit
Other
back
cruise
and
lines?
see. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got Norwegian, Royal Caribbean. We're reaching out to them, and hopefully something constructive will come out of it. So.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, let us
right.
know where you land so we can definitely book those cruises.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's like a website which is called proship.com. And so you can inscribe yourself and show your skills. And they are like negotiating for different cruise companies.
Okay.
So definitely we would like to do this again. But I think Anthony and me, we are the same. We like to do it, but not long contracts, you know. So for example, 1 month it was perfect, and then back home. And we are spoiled now because we know what passenger status is like. So
Right.
I would like to do cruising again, but never as a crew member. I did when I was young, and we are too old and too good for that.
Yeah.
Correct. Agreed.
Yeah.
You're celebrities.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks.
that kind of wraps up the questions we had for the duo. So Anthony, I know
Okay.
you said you had to go at some point,
We
but
hate to see you go, but we're glad you came.
yes, we appreciate it so much. So thank you. And we'll be in touch. And I know you and Denise are
Absolutely,
communicating,
absolutely.
So yes,
It's
thank
been
you.
amazing. Mwah, mwah. And you guys have a wonderful, and we'll be in touch. Bye. Bye, my
Bye.
good
Bye, my
boy.
friend.
All right. Well, thank you, John, for joining us. So we're going to, if you don't mind, jump into where we kind of learn a little bit about you.
Okay, cool. You're free to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess our first question would be, when did you realize the music, that music was a big part of your life?
Actually, my father, who is still alive, he is 94 years old,
Nice.
almost. My father, he cannot play anymore because of his physical health, but my father is an excellent jazz trumpet player.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up with jazz music in my home.
Okay.
Every day listening Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, Lee Morgan, Sonny Stitt, Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, Dexter Gordon. So I grew up with jazz music and fusion, like Weather Report. And I noticed always that when I heard jazz music, I felt like very happy. And I always I always was banging with sticks, on pots and pans. I think I wanted to become a drummer or something.
Nice. You had it in you at a very young age then.
Yeah, so I think I have like a good sense of rhythm, and I love good melodies, and especially improvisation really drew my attention. And my father played a lot of gigs. My father was a teacher on a technical school, and when he had a concert, and when I was free of school, he always brought me with him since I was like 3 or 4 years old.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That must have been a kind of a magical way to grow up, honestly.
It was really great, man. I loved it. I mean, my father is like a great talent. My father can play like Chet Baker. My father is a born band leader. Always has like very good musicians around him. So it fascinated me, but I never had the idea that I wanted to become a musician myself.
Really?
So until I was then I started to play piano when I was 11 years old.
Okay.
Just,
Okay.
just like a kid, very normal with classes.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a teacher, an elderly lady. She taught me how to read notes. But I noticed that I was like a good student because they never had to force me to practice. I did it
Yeah.
myself. But I knew in my mind I was already a jazz musician because of so many subconscious influences that I had since I was like a kid, like a baby.
Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
knew that I could improvise and that I was a star. I just couldn't play. I just had to start like any kid.
Sure.
Did you start out with piano, or were you into other instruments, or was piano your go-to and that's kind of where you stayed?
Actually, that's a very good question because like kids, they always try to copy their parents.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I started with trumpet.
Okay.
Because my father is a trumpet player and he had a few trumpets and he borrowed me one, and then I started practicing and I really liked it, but playing trumpet is very difficult.
Yes, I
And
can imagine the
I,
airflow and the lip posture and everything.
yeah, they call it embouchure. It's difficult. It fascinated me, but my chops weren't good, and my teeth also were not suitable for it. And then I tried for half a year, and there was a piano in our house, so automatically I switched to piano. And then
Well,
after a few years of practicing, I noticed that I always had the urge to improvise.
nice.
So I like to read music, and I also like to play some classical. I'm not a hero in it, but I knew that I had the ability to improvise. So basically, I started with blues and boogie woogie.
Okay.
Sweet.
So that kind of
And when,
leads us into our next
yeah,
question. Like who was your inspiration when you were getting in? And was jazz kind of where you started, or was it where you ended up?
okay, yeah, that's another very good question. So uh, my father was he had like a study room, you know, with a desk and lots of books. My father was studying English in his spare time and always listening records. And he always invited me to his room, and then he influenced me. He said, "This is Oscar Peterson." So basically, Oscar Peterson made an incredible impression on me. He showed me all the good piano players: Art Tatum, Horace Silver, Herbie Hancock, Bud Powell, and he explained, you know, about their way of playing,
Mm-hmm.
because my father knows a lot about history and also jazz history. So I knew that when I was going to play piano, I wanted to at least go to that level, you know, to
Okay.
become a professional jazz piano player.
Yeah.
And when I was 15, I could improvise already a little bit. And then my father was looking for another teacher who could teach me the theory and the basics about jazz harmony.
Nice.
And I ended up with a friend of my father who was like a teacher, uh, a theory teacher at the conservatory in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands. And he was actually a very good teacher. So he every Saturday afternoon he came to our house, and my father always bought a bottle of cognac, and they were like drinking the whole bottle. And in the meantime, I was having class with him, officially 1 hour, but they always ended up tipsy, and I always ended up having like 3 hours of lesson. And he gave me a lots of information about chords and chord structures and scales, how to improvise. He taught me a lot of songs, and actually, he was a great teacher. Thanks to him, within 2 years or something, I was ready to do the how you call that? In Dutch they call it toelatingsexamen. It's like an examination to get approved for the conservatory.
Okay.
Okay.
Like the test, the next level to get you
So
there.
it's like the
Okay.
audition or your
Exam.
Audition.
for the final exam. So you were able to test out.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
We lost your
I
we
Jonn, I think we can't
muted
hear
you. Hold
We
on.
can't hear you.
Hold on.
I don't think we muted him. I think he muted himself.
Yeah.
Can you go in and unmute him?
Hey, John, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. We lost you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
there we
yeah,
go. We
There
lost
you
you
go.
for a
Sorry,
second. Sorry about
I'm
that.
sorry. Yeah, there was a call coming in. Yeah.
Oh,
we
okay.
got you. No
Yeah.
worries.
I thought it was a technical issue on our end. Sorry.
No, there was a call coming in. Yeah.
So,
So basically, I ended up in the Hague Conservatory, which was only half an hour from my home, from my village. And then I started like a student, having classical lessons. I had a great teacher. His name is Rob van Kreeveld, a Jewish guy, a really amazing piano player who could play fantastic classical, but also jazz. Very creative. Unfortunately, he died last month.
oh, I'm
Aw.
sorry to hear that.
He became 82 years old, but he was fantastic. And I was just a beginner. Actually, I didn't even know how to start, man, because this guy was an amazing player, but not really great teacher, deductive wise. You know, he played so well. It was a little bit difficult for him to replace himself in a simple student. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you got lucky to
So
bring him.
yeah, so I decided to to record my lessons with a Walkman.
I had a Walkman.
And yeah, a Walkman with a cassette, so I could
Yes.
record it. So I just recorded all the lessons, and then I locked myself up for a couple of years, replaying all these recordings for hours, and then sorting out everything he played, the way he played his chords, transcribing chords, transcribing his lines in the improvisation.
Mhm.
And I did it for 2 years, and then when I was like 21 or something, I could play like much better. Then I really was like ready to play gigs and like a professional.
Oh.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, so you started in the Netherlands, you practiced, you became like you did gigs around there. So so you came to Dominican Republic to be a teacher. What year was that?
Actually, 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Right. Okay.
So I went to the Dominican Republic a few times like a tourist. And then the second time, my idea was to make some contacts, some musical contacts. And I went to see a concert in Santo Domingo from a drummer called Guy Frometa. He is one of the best drummers over here. And he lived for 10 years in New York. He studied with Jeff Tain Waltz. He played with Don Cherry and lots of famous guys. And I went to see his trio. And then I introduced myself, and I told him that I was a teacher, that I was a professional piano player. And they asked me if I could sit in, and I played a couple of tunes, and they really liked it. And from there, I made these contacts. And then Guy Frometa, the drummer, he introduced me to the university. He introduced me to Corey Allen, the piano player, and the other director. His name is Sylvester Moya, who is like the administrative director of this music education. And so they were really interested in me. I gave them a few CDs, like
demos.
Like a present.
Yeah.
And then I went back to the Netherlands, and a few months later they called me up to ask me if I would be willing and interested to teach over there, like 17 hours weekly.
Nice. Okay.
So like divided over 2 or 3 days, and of course immediately I said yes.
Yeah.
And then somewhere in September, like 6 years ago, I just arrived, and the next day I started teaching already.
Nice.
That's
And,
So that's a great gig.
Yeah.
It was
the next question was, so if you're thinking like going forward to the future, what is your dream location to perform from? Like, where would you love to perform from?
Okay, yeah, wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that my dream was always New York, because the best musicians, they come from New York.
Yeah, I hear that.
So when I was walking around in New York, I can feel the vibes. This is like number one business-wise, and also number one jazz. But I know to live in New York, it's a challenge, because
It's expensive.
I know that all the famous musicians that live in New York, they are making their money outside of New York.
Yes, right.
Oh, you mean by
playing
performing? Their performances are more outside of New York versus in New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they play. Actually, all these famous musicians from New York, they're making their money mostly in Europe and in Asia on the jazz festivals.
Yeah.
Once they have a name.
Gotcha.
So actually, like more than 10 years ago, I lived for half a year in Tokyo.
Nice.
Tokyo is really, fantastic, fantastic city. Really big city, really safe, 24 hours economy, great for jazz music.
Oh, I wouldn't
There's
have thought
like
that. That's very interesting.
there's like 200 jazz clubs in Tokyo. You every night you can see
Wow.
something different.
That's
A
amazing.
really amazing experience.
Yeah.
What else? I really like South America. I'm crazy about South America, but jazz is an upcoming thing.
So they
So
are new on the jazz scene, you're saying?
In South America.
yeah, more or less, more or less.
Okay.
So, for example, here in the Dominican Republic, it's like because of this education, affinity for jazz is growing. I also lived for half a year in Colombia. I have been teaching over there as well. In Colombia, there's also some jazz, but not too much. Uh, in my opinion, the best country for jazz in South America is Brazil,
Okay.
and I'm really crazy about Brazilian music. I think from all the folkloric music from South America, Brazilian music, bossa nova, samba, is the most interesting music in
Nice.
comparison
Okay.
with the other styles like salsa, bachata, merengue. Yeah. So I got a lot of inspiration from Brazilian music, actually.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, do you have any projects coming up or any performances upcoming that you've got in the works or are wanting to work on?
Actually, since I'm back from the ship, I didn't have any concert yet, but I'm sure something will come in. But I want to focus on making a new CD.
Nice.
Okay.
I,
Exciting.
I I have a trio over here with a fantastic rhythm section. Uh, a drummer called Otoniel Nicolas. He is one of the very best on this island. Drummer and percussionist, really, really good. And a great bass player. His name is Luis Feliz, and we have a great trio. We play jazz and funky. And actually, I want to do some crowdfunding and make a CD with these guys. And I want
Okay.
to.
That
I'm
sounds
going to call
awesome.
it the Dominican Republic Jazz and Fusion Trio.
Nice. Well, we look forward to that.
Thank you very much. So my dream actually is to get these guys to the Netherlands and Germany, to
Mhm.
Europe, and hopefully play in United States,
Yeah, those are all
And
excellent goals.
yeah. So if you go to my YouTube channel, just type in Jonn Reyna, John with double Jonn.
I'm a subscriber. I am subscribed to your YouTube channel.
And we will
Okay,
share
thank you
your
very much.
links with on our podcast.
And yes, we are absolutely going to share your links on Suitcase Divas podcast
and our socials.
Okay.
Yeah, and all our socials.
Yeah.
So we absolutely would love to help each other out. So if you want to, post us on your links, then, good on you too, because we're good people too.
Yeah.
But we're
Okay,
so
great.
excited
Thank you
for
very much.
we're very excited for your
Absolutely.
adventure with your this upcoming.
Yeah, we wish you absolutely all the best. with that.
Absolutely. So we will definitely get your information out to our listeners, and thank
Please.
you
Yeah,
so
it
much
would be
for joining us today.
So I did just have one more question. I know the MSC cruise was kind of like a lot of crazy shit happened, okay? So like people died, there was a fire, it got kind of crazy because we didn't get to stop and the weather was not awesome. But I just wanted to ask you, what's your favorite takeaway from that MSC cruise?
Oh, you mean the food? I'll tell you, man, they had like a roast lamb just a few times. It was like really, really nice. I'm crazy about lamb.
Oh, so you
Lamb
did get
meat.
that in your main dining room?
No, I was just. We were just allowed to get anything from the buffet.
Oh, so you did
Yeah.
have a positive experience. We thought you were joking because our experience with the buffet was insane. Like people, maybe it was the lamb. I got ribbed out of the way for a piece of meat, but I don't eat meat per se. And so
Uh-huh.
maybe that lamb was so good that that's why people are like fighting you down in the
Yeah, those Chinese guys, they could be very rude, man. Sometimes they were like crossing you, and the Italian food was really nice because yeah, MSC is an Italian company, so they prepared some pastas or sometimes really nice. What else? Oh yeah, they even had like an Asiatic section for the Chinese, and
Okay,
sometimes they
right.
had like really special stuff like chicken curry or some nice noodles, something
Well,
seaweed.
it's really interesting to
Yeah.
hear that you like the food because that was one of the biggest complaints from most of our people was that the food was awful. So you had a positive experience with the food. So that's interesting and nice to hear.
Yeah, it's just there was enough to choose from, so you just have
Make the
to
best
choose
of
well,
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the only thing is like what I was missing was like a good cheese. I like French cheese and Italian
Yeah.
cheese, those smelly ones.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of basic, but I think the bread was really good. They had like integral bread. Uh, Brown bread, very nice.
Yes.
Um, no complaints about the food, Was
Wow, that's
most
amazing.
Americans they eat only hamburgers and pizzas, but if you look further, there was enough great stuff to pick from. Yeah,
Right. Absolutely.
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
And you're even considering another cruise, which we think that's awesome. So make sure you let us know if you and Anthony, or just whatever works with you, if you guys are on one of those, we would absolutely love to join you on your cruise again because it was fun hanging out
yeah,
with you guys.
yeah. I think they figured out our worth. So the woman from the bookers agent asked me if I was interested to do this again. I said, yeah, I can do this again, but I want to have internet because I
Yes.
Right.
was without internet. That
Yes.
drove me
We
crazy.
do understand that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I wanna do it, but like a passenger status because I cannot go back to crew member status. I'm too old for that. And then I told them if they need me, for 3 weeks or 1 month, to catch up or to fill out an empty space, I will do it.
Yeah.
I like to play with Anthony as a duo. We can play as a trio, but if they need me as a piano player, I can do that as well. But
Yeah.
short-term contact, not too long, because I don't like to leave my house alone, and I got two little kids, so I like
Right.
to be around. Yeah.
And you had mentioned you had done a cruise performance before. How long was that? And you said that one didn't end very well.
Listen, you cannot imagine. When I was 28 years old, I applied for a cruise job, and they hired me as a solo piano player on a ship called the Monarch of the Seas, and their main port was like San Juan, Puerto Rico,
Okay.
and it was a like real cool job, and I had the chance to see a lot of islands. So in the daytime, I checked out Martinique, Saint Thomas, Antigua, Barbados,
Ah, that's
Saint
all
Martin
gorgeous.
it was really nice. I really enjoyed. But after 2 months, there was an accident, and the captain banged the ship on a coral reef in Saint Martin
Oh,
with like a tragic accident, and 3 floors of the boat were flooded. So
Oh,
in the bottom of the ship where live all the Filipinos was flooded, and the ship was parked on a sandbank. And then we spent like a whole week like evacuating all the passengers and wrapping up the suitcases. Was crazy. There was
oh,
no electricity,
wow.
no airco.
that's
We
awful.
were we were sleeping on the decks. Now, yeah, it was terrible, but it was also a big adventure. I mean,
Yeah.
I could write a book about it. It was such a crazy experience. And then I remember that the day that I took off this year, 16th of December, it happened the same day. And my father was watching television in the Netherlands, and it was on the 8 o'clock news. And then he
Oh,
said, "Oh, for sure, that must be John's ship."
Oh
Oh
boy.
no, so they heard about it from the news. They didn't even get to hear about it from you.
On the Dutch television was on the news, and my mother lived in Florida, in and she was watching television, and she saw the same, and it was even in the newspaper.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
So we survived like a few days on that ship, and then we were all being transported back home. And I arrived like I remember that the just a few days before Christmas, I arrived back home, and it was like terribly cold, man. It was like minus 20 degrees. So I went from plus 25 to minus 20, freezing my ass off.
Yeah. Oh
Well,
Yeah.
wow.
And then it took months to repair that ship. So the ship has to be
sure.
towed from Saint Martin to Mobile, Alabama, because that's the only dock where a big ship like that would fit in. They had to mold the ship and to repair everything. It took a few months, and then in March or something, the director of the entertainment company called me again and asked me if I would like to finish my contract, and I said no thanks.
No, thank you.
Right?
I'm good. I'm just gonna hang out here.
So the next time
Yeah,
you were on
so
a cruise was this one with MSC many years later. Is that correct?
yeah. Was actually my second cruise,
Oh wow,
and
you were great.
yeah, much better experience
Well,
actually.
so the funny thing, John, is you don't have high expectations after being docked on the coral reef. I think the two deaths on board and the fire and all of the chaos, that might seem like an upgrade, but don't give up on cruising, because I promise you there are actually cruise ships out there where everything's freaking amazing. The food, the people, the ports, and nothing bad happens. So don't give up on
Man,
cruising.
don't tell me. I guess I missed it. A fire? You're talking about a fire?
Oh yeah, there was
On the casino floor.
yeah, there was a fire on the casino level, and we only got the inside scoop because we're travel agents, but yeah, there were two deaths on board and a fire. So you thought you were doing great, but really you're just doing a little bit better than docked on a coral reef. So I think you should try again, my friend, for another cruise line that maybe has a lot of positivity going on.
Oh, I'm sure, especially if you girls will join us.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
keep you
Well, we
Absolutely.
posted.
really appreciate your time today. I thank you
Yeah.
so much from Suitcase Divas for letting us interviewing you, and we hope to see you again on a cruise ship
Or in the Dominican
in the
Republic.
Dominican
Yes,
Republic.
we absolutely want to come and
Anthony's
visit.
really
Or,
pushing hard for us to come down there.
or in the United States. I love
Or
it
in the
there, man.
United States, because
Yes.
the US is fun too.
Yeah.
So when you're out there, keep us informed. We'll keep in touch so that we can keep up to date on what you're doing. And we are really wishing good vibes for your upcoming project that you really want to see through with this new album or this new trio.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Absolutely. And we hope to see you
Yeah.
again sometime soon.
Yeah. Where are you girls located? In New York?
North Carolina.
We're actually Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Wow. Oh, that's nice. Nice.
It is
Yeah.
Yeah.
beautiful. It's a bit chilly here right now, and you guys are
Yeah.
making us jealous with your tropical winds and
Beautiful
the
weather.
warm weather.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's all good. We'll be back
Just
in some kind of tropical setting again soon.
when you're fed up, just come over. And there's also cruise ships doing this island, eh? So
Yeah.
in Puerto Plata, I think the MSC Meraviglia will change their route, and they will go from Puerto Plata to Mexico. And in Santo Domingo, there's also cruise ships arriving.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
Absolutely.
we'll just fly down and let you and
yeah,
Anthony kind of be our tour guides and help us
sure.
explore the area.
You are more than welcome. I would love you to. I would love to show you around.
All right.
You
Well,
will
I
love
want
it.
to grab before we get off, I want to grab a quick snapshot, a screenshot, so I can post that on all of our socials. So when everybody's ready, All right, we ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, I got a couple pictures. So, John,
Okay.
thank you so much for joining us today, and we will be in touch. We're going to give you some information on and let you know when all this is coming out, but we thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, thank you very much, girls. I love you very much.
We love you.
Thanks to you, the cruise was turned out even better.
Same, we enjoyed hanging out with you. You and Anthony made the cruise a success for us.
Absolutely. So, and best of luck for you coming up, and we'll see you again.
I'm thrilled to hear that.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, I wish you a great new year and good luck with everything, and we keep in touch.
Absolutely.
Thanks for this interview, and thanks for your emotional support and help.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be in touch. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Enjoy your weekend.
Okay, bye-bye, girls. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.